but it's fun to
Love
listen
it.
to, and
Yeah.
ultimately, like,
That's what that,
I
yeah,
guess that's kind of what matters when it comes to music. Like,
true.
if it's fun to listen to, then why not?
Yeah.
This is Off Track Podcast,
Where each episode, one brother presents a project to be reviewed by the other. Hey everyone, Elaman here. Just wanted to quickly say before the episode starts that this episode is a little different because the album we're talking about is in Spanish. We tried our best to summarize what each song is saying and to repeat lyrics in both Spanish and English, but since both me and Parker are a little rusty in our Spanish and there's a lot of Puerto Rican slang, we may miss some nuances, so apologies in advance. If you're on YouTube or Spotify and are watching the video, we added captions in both Spanish and English to help people follow along. The English translations in the captions also won't be perfect because we use ChatGPT, but it'll have to do. Lastly, just wanted to say that towards the end of this episode, my mic stopped working, so my audio quality isn't great at the end, but hopefully it doesn't sound too terrible. As always, thanks for listening along, and we'd love to hear any feedback you have on these episodes, and always appreciate it if you give us a like, follow, or share us with a friend.
Welcome to Season 1, Episode 7 of Off Track Podcast. Each episode, one of us brothers will bring a project that we love for the other one to hear for the first time and react to. We're both hip-hop heads, but we'll bring projects from all different genres, and we'll include well-known projects, obscure projects, and everything in between.
Today we're going to do our first non-English album, and I'm going to bring El Abayarde by Tego Calderon, an early revolutionary reggaeton album, and so I'm really excited to get into it. But first, let's catch up a little bit. Parker, what have you been up to and what have you been listening to?
That's good.
Hey, my mind, my
We're
my brain,
keeping that.
my brain is in Spanish mode because I've been listening to this album.
That's good. Yeah, not anything too crazy, mostly just school. I had a buddy that I haven't seen in like probably like 2.5 years that was in town. He lives in California, but I met up with him earlier this week and got to catch up, so that was nice. And then yeah, other than that, school, work, I'm like working on my application for PT school right now. So that's it.
Nice.
Nothing too crazy. And then as far as music, oh man, there was a lot of good music I think that came out this week. Okay, first of all, I don't know if you saw it, Kid Cudi's surprise dropped another album.
Oh, I don't think I did see that.
It looks like just like a deluxe version because it's titled Insano Nitro Mega. So it looks
Okay.
like it might just have a few extra songs, but it's actually an entirely new album. Like it doesn't
Oh,
have any of the same songs. And he included a lot of his like old songs that never came out officially that people were just
okay.
bumping on like
Interesting.
SoundCloud and stuff. I thought it was a lot better than
Insano.
his actual album that he dropped. Yeah, Insano. So
Interesting.
that
Okay,
was
I'll
that
have to
was
check that out.
that was pretty fun to listen to. There were a lot of songs on there that I was like, dude, this is bringing me back to like middle school Kid Cudi. Anyways, Earth Gang dropped an EP this week.
Oh shit.
That is so good. It's Earth Gang and Spillage Village. And then I also was listening back through a lot of Lil Wayne's discography this week. And dude, he's like whole
Impeccable.
just dude, so his lyricism and wordplay is like out of this world. Like
Yeah.
rappers just are not doing that today. Not the way Lil Wayne did it.
What's your favorite The Carter?
The Carter 3 is really good.
I think that one is my favorite.
Yeah, they're
Except it
really
has
good.
Mrs. Officer, which is like my absolute least favorite song of Lil
Dude,
Wayne's.
you don't like that song?
It's so cringy, dude.
I think it's a fun song.
It's funny. It's funny.
What about you? What have you been up to? What have you been listening to?
We're starting to plan our Europe. We're doing a big Europe backpacking trip. We're trying to hit a ton. It'll be like England, France, Spain, Italy, Greece, Czech Republic,
Dang.
Switzerland.
So like all of Europe. That's crazy. Dang, that's awesome.
But yeah, in terms of music, I listened to 2093 by Yeet that just came out.
I haven't gotten
I'm
around
not
to that yet.
I'm not really a Yeet like guy, but it was pretty good. It was like it kind of gave Travis Scott vibes actually.
Okay.
And then went back to listen to a few of the like classics for me: The Melodic Blue by Baby Keem, Hotels by Jasmine Sullivan, Still Over It by Summer Walker, Soul Sold
So good.
Separately was one of my favorite albums of 2022. But yeah,
Nice.
nothing really like new besides Yeet.
Also, what
Cool.
albums do you have up there, real quick? Olivia Rodrigo,
Yep. Fleetwood Mac,
Fleetwood Mac, nice. To Pimp a Butterfly.
Childish, yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly, Childish
Yeah.
Gambino,
That's Selena, the purple one.
Selena, yep,
Nice. That's dope.
Casey Musgraves, and then
Lana.
Lana Del Rey.
Nice. Great album.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get into it. Do you know off the top of your head, do you know Tego Calderon, or are there?
No. Short answer, no.
He's from Puerto Rico. He began in the 90s doing these battle rapping like competitions. The album we're going to listen to today is his debut album, and it's called
Nice.
El
Cool.
Abayarde, which is a type of ant, almost like a fire ant, in
Okay.
Puerto Rico, and that was like his nickname as a kid. Yeah, that's the name of this album. It really ended up becoming one of the early like reggaeton records that was a crossover that like led to people not from Latin America becoming familiar with reggaeton.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be like, as I grew up, I just started listening to whatever was coming out currently.
Yeah.
And I haven't really taken the time like I have with hip hop to listen to like the classic hip hop albums that came out before my time.
Yeah.
To do the same with reggaeton. So this will be good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Also, just as a preface, Elaman did grow up speaking more Spanish than I did. I am definitely a no sabo kid. I'll admit it. I'm a no sabo kid. So
Yeah.
for anybody that is fluent in Spanish, just take it easy. Okay. Okay. Track 1 is just intro.
Oye, 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 que es la que hay, Tego, oye, ven acá, ven acá, ven acá, ven acá, ven acá, oye, ven acá, ven acá. Mira quién llega, cosa buena. Este sandungueo es para las mujeres, para las mujeres, para las mujeres. El negro calde, sin problema.
Okay. Dope. That's the intro. Sweet. Yeah, it was basically just the intro. I don't think I'll rate that one, but already love the vibe, love the like a Caribbean feel to it, like an Afro-Caribbean beat.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and like one of the things that is repeated in here is El Negro Calde, which is almost, it's like a bit of a tagline for Tego Calderon, but it introduces this like theme and idea. He is a Afro-Latino man with like African ancestry in Puerto Rico, and so that's something that's gonna kind of keep getting touched on.
Sweet. Okay, sounds good. Let's do track number 2 is titled Abayarde.
Más que nada, sálgase del frente que quiero pasar. Esta música está bien animada y yo vine para ganar, papá. ¿A tú te crees que mete cabra porque ladra cuando hablo? He visto muchos como tú y a todos se le ha ido la guagua. ¿Tú quieres llegar somewhere? I'll take you there, la Ric Flair. I'm a body slam, yo hacer la brea. Boricua hasta el hueso buscando progreso. Simplemente eso, mi jugo es el peso. Cogerle el peso, ¿de dónde viene mi sabrosura? Me inculcaron semillitas de esta cultura. Desde la cuna, agradecido de esta negrura. Por la soltura de mi flow no hago travesura. Se siente uva como Fidel Castro en Cuba. Jode con calde, se te acaban las aventuras. Termino la falsa, perdonen la tardanza. El que de lucha se cansa, sus sueños nunca alcanzan. Con tu guagua te cree que intimida. Cochinchillo, encabulla, vuelve y tira. Es el Tego Calde, la Abayarde. En el 2002 mi socio pa' luego es tarde. Camina, que la Abayarde la puso en China, pa' tu esquina, máquina que me fue encima, tira la toalla. Que llegué con mi quincalla.
It doesn't sound like bongos in the back, but that drum is sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I thought they were bongos, but I guess maybe bongos are kind of like deeper.
Yeah. Yeah, bongos have that. It was like a pretty flat sound that those drums had, and bongos have a more of a like a
like a boing.
timbre. A boing.
It's a technical word, you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay, dope. That was really sick. I loved that song. So he's just talking to shit.
Yeah. Super
I like
braggadocious.
I like the line "Me incultaron semillita de esa cultura," which is like I had this seed of culture planted in me. So, and that's like obvious throughout the rest of the song where he's talking about his culture, where he came from, and like what makes him him.
Yeah, and then the next line he says, "Desde la cuna," from the crib, agradecido de esta negrura. Like I've been grateful for this, my blackness.
Yeah.
And like earlier he says something about like boricua hasta el hueso. So boricua is people from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like he's proud of his race, proud of his culture, and he's bringing like the braggadocious energy and kind of like the aggressiveness.
Yeah. I love it. I think he killed it. The beat was awesome. There's like kind of a lot of instruments in the back, but it was like, I feel like orchestrated really well to where like it just fit together super nice. So yeah, I loved it. I'm gonna give that song like a 9.5 out of 10. I thought it was awesome.
Nice. Yeah,
so,
I think it's such a great way to start off the album.
Yeah, he killed it.
One thing I'll just call out is those horns, that bow, 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 and it's like growly and everything. So that's a sample from Cab Calloway. It's like legendary jazz group. That's something that El Abayarde, I don't know, like developed the genre of reggaeton by like crossing over, like using samples from other types of music. So
okay, track number 3 is titled Al Natural.
Llegó el de la cosa buena. Alegría pa' tu cuerpo sin Macarena. Mueve la parcela, nena.
Yo lo que suelto es matucamba pa' la que se lamba. Pa' que mis pollitos muevan su nalga con Looney Tunes. En la Abayarde le mete el zum zum. Pa' que en la disco muevan su pum pum. Yo lo que suelto es matucamba pa' la que se lamba. Pa' que mis pollitos muevan su nalga con Looney Tunes. En la Abayarde le mete el zum zum. Pa' que en la disco muevan su pum pum. Vuelve la Abayarde del negro Calderisi. Oye, traigo de todo, agua, cosa, del coro. Si no me quiere, yo no me enfogo. Bailalo lento, no vinimos a comer cuento. Ando contento, pero sin el cargamento de la Abayarde. Nena, no te me acobarde. Vengo bien pesado, vengo en grande. No sigas con los netuntos.
I can definitely see the influence of like Daddy Yankee, or like his influence on people like Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, and they were like working at the same time, so they probably influenced each other.
Yeah.
Mami, yo quiero bailarte pero es natural, como si te conociera de atrás. Oye, yo lo que quiero es pelearte y más nada. Yo lo que quiero es ganarte, mamá.
Te Tego Calderon con Looney Tunes, matándolo con mi zum zum.
Nice. Definitely that's definitely like a Latin club hit right there.
Yeah, like a more like traditional reggaeton sound. So
he's just telling them
move
your body.
Which is a reference to perrear, like the traditional like way you shake your ass while you're dancing to reggaeton.
Hillman's actually going to demonstrate really quick for us.
The other thing to mention about the lyrics, so he says like con Looney Tun Tun. So the producer that worked on this song and in a lot of the songs, his name is Looney Tunes.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure, and so that starts off that line, that string of rhymes. Looney Tun Tun se mete al sun sun.
Muevan su pum pum.
Yeah. I always wondered if like pa que mis pollitos, my chickens, my little chicks or whatever, if that is like a reference to Looney Tunes, because there's like, what is it, Tweety Bird? I guess Tweety Bird isn't really a chicken. Maybe a chick, a little chick.
Yeah, un pollito.
So
maybe.
I don't know. I always wondered if that was kind of like a bit of a play on words, putting those two phrases together. But
yeah, it definitely could be there. I'm trying to look. There was a line. Is this line that's like, oye, pa que mangue que llegó el Cambumbo? Is that like slang for? Is that just like the man?
Yeah, the way he described it is that it's basically someone who like has a lot of street smarts. So like the man, like someone who like knows what they're doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cambumbo.
Yeah, it was a fun song. I think I'll rate that one probably like a 8 out of 10. Super fun. Just like, yeah, honestly, it's just a bop.
It's a dance, dancing one.
Definitely a dance song. So
yeah, it's got that more traditional reggaeton sound. It has the dembo beat that is So classic.
Yeah, so dope. All right. Track number 4 is titled Poquito.
Ey, el Abayarde contraataca. Ajá, ¿qué fue? Ey, oye, cheque. Ey, échate pa' allá, Leo. Hechicero es mal agüero. Saca mi nombre del caldero. Gracias divina, ventaja privilegiada, mi pana. Oye, que no se compra ni se gana con lana. Veo envidia y hipocresía en sus caras. Oye, pai. A muchos de ellos no les gustó que triunfaran. ¿Dónde están los cantan los trangalangas? Oye, los más que rocan cogieron la jugilanga. El Abayarde, haciéndole el culo sangre. Este poquitito pa' que te la soy yo contra tu monopolio de odio. Malas vibraciones pa' buscarte un novio que yo estoy en lo mío tranquilo. Haciendo chavo, eso es lo que yo tiro. Y tú buscándole doble sentido a todo lo que yo escribo. Suavemente, el público está consciente que ninguno de ustedes ha matado gente. Tú no eres calle, da mucho detalle, echa mucho tiriritarara. No hablan con la verdad. Si quieren guerrear, tóquenme y tú verás. Si el campela, loco, yo soy Candela. Tego Calderon, el negro de Borinque es bella. Por más que tratan, no me hacen mella. Es mentira, o hasta los panties no deja huella. Hasta tu DJ sabe que en esto soy ley. Yo
Like, I feel like I could hear
usted
Snoop
any
Dogg
day.
rapping.
And let me say, you Spanglish so fake. Abochornate, véndete como Macy Gray. Tú eres más
Spanglish
fantacuta
so
que Moncho
fake.
Altuada. En el Tego Calderón, el dueño de la clave, papi. El Abayarde.
Sweet. Yeah, that was a dope. I love the beginning of that chorus. He's like, ¿a dónde están la gangsta, la trangalanga?
Yeah.
It's so dope. Which is like where
Where the
the gangsters at.
Yeah.
And then what did you say la trangalanga means? It's like the
It's like
bullshit.
the bullshit or like the riffraff. So so like the song is really about just like people that are fake and that are kind of like putting on a front. The next line after that, oye, los más que roncan cogieron la huilanga. So los más que roncan is like the people who roncar is to snore, but it's also just like to talk shit. So like the people who talk shit the most, cogieron la huilanga means like they like ran away or like they got out of here. So he's just saying kind of like you talk a lot of shit, but like but you're fake.
Where the gangsters at when when it comes to it, he's like saying I'm still here, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah. One word that is good to know is Guasa. And I've seen it spelled either WASA or GUASA. And that's basically just like, that's kind of like a equivalent of like cap, people that are lying or just being fake or whatever.
Okay, so I heard that a couple times and I didn't know what that meant, but cool.
Yeah.
Wasa. Yeah, like you said, it kind of had like a G-funk vibe to it. I don't even know what that was in the background, but it was really dope. I loved it.
Yeah.
Probably of the 3 so far that we played, this one's probably my least favorite, but it was still fun. I mean, it's a fun song to listen to. It's got a good beat. I'll probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Cool.
But yeah,
that's always it's always hard to start out with like a banger right off the bat, because then it's bold, because then after that, like in comparison, other stuff that might not be like at that same level but still good, it can like make it sound worse in comparison. But
yeah, totally. The next track is titled Que Retozen, which means like enjoy yourselves, kind of, right?
Yeah, like party or
Oye, el Abayarde, el Tego Calde con DJ Yo.
Con DJ Yo.
Esto es para ustedes, para que se lo gocen. Tego Calderón pa' que retosen. Vuelvo a nuevo, me siento al día en la mía, mami. Ya ando bien perfumado y la paca por si no fían sin misterio. Llénense de placer, que se acaba el mundo y no vine pa' perder. Soy el number one, nada más monstruo que los de thriller. Esto es para ustedes, pa' que se lo gocen. Pa' que se lo gocen, pa' que se lo rocen. Vamos morena, culipandé, esa batea, cachea, pero que también pichea. La golfea, esa sí no fantasmea. Oye mi canción y como frontea. Doy por ti, mami, horchata de ajonjolí.
That kind of sounds like a steel drum kind of.
Yeah,
but like less
Digan lo que digan, vamos a gozarnos la vida.
like echo.
Yeah, yeah.
Protégete, melamina mía. No te me cohiba y exija, a menos que tú quieras hacer tu valía. Esto no es un juego. Si Juliet te vio luego, coge el consejo de Tego para que llegue a viejo. Si te va a huir pelado y te sale premiado por no haberlo encapuchado, eso sí es foul. Entonces, oye, esto es para ustedes, para que se lo gocen, para que se lo gocen, para que se lo gocen. Este es Tego Calderón, el Abayarde, junto a DJ Yo, y la firma el escenario. ¿Qué fue? Creí que ya sabían de mí.
Nice. Nice. That's a dope song. I love that. Yeah, that like do 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 do
Yeah.
do 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 do. Yeah, that was super dope.
This song was one that like became huge. Like it just went all over the world, and
Yeah,
so I thought if there was any song that you would have heard, it might have
would have
been
been this one.
even if you don't recognize it. Like if you've been to a Latin club or something, like
Yeah, I probably have heard it before. But yeah, I didn't recognize it. But yeah, basically, like we said at the beginning, it's like party. We're spitting it on the mic. We're doing our thing.
yeah,
So y'all can dance. Y'all can party.
yeah.
So,
That's it. That whole chorus is just like, this is for y'all. This is for y'all to party and dance.
Yeah.
And
Club banger. Honestly, I wasn't like a super big fan of after the instruments kind of switched and it was like do 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 do
yeah,
do do. The other
and like the
I don't
second
know.
verse or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that.
Mhm.
But other than that, I think I loved pretty much everything else about it. So
Nice. One thing I'll mention about the second verse is like it ends up like the whole time he's just talking about like, you know, dancing and like
mhm.
kind of like there's like definitely some like sexual themes in here. But then at the end of the second verse, he basically like the second half of it is him basically saying like, okay, but like have fun, but have safe sex. And he says like you like
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
tampoco a lo loco, protégeteme a la mina, mija. So he's saying like let's protect both of ourselves. Like and then he goes and
Be
says like,
responsible.
this isn't a game. Like
Yeah.
we like you don't want to like end up with an unwanted pregnancy or whatever. So he
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, throws some wisdom in there too. Like he's encouraging them to party, but also
Yeah.
being like, but let's just be smart about things.
Yeah.
That's kind of
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, kind of like wrapped up in the mix of just like this full on club banger that's
Yeah.
that's going. But yeah, I think I'll give that one probably like a 7 out of 10.
Cool.
Yeah, good one for the club. Probably won't be banging it in my car or anything.
Cool.
Banging it in my car.
What else are you banging in your car?
Probably won't be blasting it in my car, is what I meant to say.
One thing I will say, a reference he made at the end of the first verse, he says, "Soy el number one. I'm más monster que los de Thriller." And so he makes is the first of a few different Michael Jackson references he makes. But
Okay, next track is Interlude.
Aquí llegó el maestro, llegó Tego Calderón.
Aquí llegó,
Vamos a bailar.
Tego Calderón.
I love the Puerto Rican accent.
Tego Calderón.
Bailar.
Va.
Tego Calderón.
Nice. Nice short, sweet little interlude. They're just saying Tego Calderon he's arrived. He's here.
arrived.
We're ready to dance.
Yeah.
Okay. 7th track is titled Loiza. And is Loiza a name or is that a place? Is that a city in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it's a place. It's
Okay.
like a town where Tego Calderon is from.
Okay. Sounds good. Loiza.
Oye, esto es pa' mi pueblo con cariño de la Abayarde. Oye, ando sin prisa, pero tu lentitud me coleriza. Y es que no bregan con Loiza. No brega. Me quiere hacer pensar que soy parte de una trilogía racial donde todo el mundo es igual.
Yeah.
Sin trato especial, tu historia es vergonzosa, entre otras cosas. Cambiaste la cadena por esposa. No todos somos iguales en términos legales. Y eso está probado en los tribunales. En lo claro, la justicia se obtiene con cascado. Oye, por eso va a haber justicia sin igualdad. Maldita maldad que destruye la humanidad. Que potestad va a quitarme la libertad. Si yo no
Starting out some social themes.
Va a haber justicia sin igualdad. igualdad, maldita todos con bien que mi pueblo negro no padece, pues que tú crees que se lo merece, porque la madre sus hijos no daña, cabrones, lambones pa'l carajo España, ja, yo soy Nietzsche, orgulloso de mis raíces, de tener mucha bemba y grandes narices, ni sufrida, si yo no reconozco su autoridad, yo no sé por qué, dime, si yo con nadie me meto, yo soy boricua, es el Abayarde, trayéndola como
Boricua, what is that? What does that mean?
metiéndole fuertemente.
That's like the Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oye, qué bonito es mi Loiza.
Damn. Okay. That's a really interesting song. So that this song, yeah, like you already said, addresses a lot of like social issues, and he's talking about his Black heritage, especially in the. I think in that first verse, he has a line. He's like, "Que soy parte de una trilogía racial."
Mhm.
He's like, "I'm part of this like racial trilogy."
He's talking about the Europeans that came, the indigenous people that were already in Latin America, and the
Yeah.
Black people that the Europeans brought with them as slaves.
Right. Okay.
And but then the rest of the song, he's basically calling out that there is still a ton of racial injustice in Puerto Rico, and that Black Puerto Ricans are not treated the same as, you know, lighter skinned Puerto Ricans.
Yeah,
And
he's
so
calling he's calling him out. I like the he's es que tu historia es vergonzosa. He's like you've got an embarrassing past, like,
Mhm,
but then it carries on to today. Like you guys are still treating us like this.
mhm.
It's
Cambiaste
not
las cadenas por esposas. You switched the chains for handcuffs.
for handcuffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. And then in the I don't know if it was the chorus, but yeah, he's talking about like there won't ever be justice without equality, and like that inequality is what's like damning humanity.
Yeah.
Basically. So
Yeah. So really, I think it's a really powerful song.
I do
And
too, yeah.
There's this part that I think is really good, where right after he says cambiaste las cadenas por esposas, you changed the chains for handcuffs.
Mhm.
Then he says, no todos somos iguales en términos legales, y eso está probado en los tribunales. Like,
Yeah.
we're not all equal on legal terms, and that has
Mhm.
been proven in the courts.
Yeah.
And then he later goes on to say, like, si no hay chavos pa abogado, te provee uno el estado. If
Mhm.
like you don't have a lawyer, the state will give you one. Pero hermano, te llevó quien te trajo. But brother, who brought you is going to take you. Te
Yeah.
matan y no desenfundan, la jaula se te inunda. They kill you, but without even drawing their guns, your prison cell will flood or whatever.
Yeah.
Sentencias legales, defensas de segunda. So like legal sentences and like second-rate legal defenses or whatever. So
Yeah.
super like,
And then
just kind of like getting
a
specific
couple lines
about.
a couple lines after that too, porque protesta va a quitarme la libertad. Like if we do try to protest the injustice, then they'll, you know, we lose our freedom because they'll arrest us or whatever. The law's not on our side anyways. So
Mhm.
damn. Yeah, that's crazy. That's yeah, super powerful song. Totally different from like this is not a club banger. This is not what you're here. This is
Yeah.
not what you're hearing at the Latin Club. But yeah, I really liked it. Like music wise, it's not like super crazy. It wasn't my favorite beat or favorite like production or anything, but I think it sends a really strong message, and
Mhm.
I think he does it really well. So
I do really like the Afro drums that are going on in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah, that
and
is
it kind of
true.
continues on from the interlude where it was like kind of a call and response chant.
And I will say too, the like those Afro drums and the production give it kind of like a darker tone. It's not like which totally matches what he's rapping about. I really liked it. I think I'm gonna give this one like a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
Super good song, and yeah, I think he does a really good job of addressing like his own experiences and the experiences of others in Puerto Rico and other places, obviously.
Yeah, nice. I feel like his flow on this sometimes gives me like Tupac vibes, the way that he like has
I
this
can
kind
see
of
that,
like
yeah.
kind of like low voice. His delivery has a little bit of like Tupac. I think maybe it's
I can
something
see
about
that.
like starting out with a fast rap and then like emphasizing certain words.
Yeah, yeah, kind of elongating the
Yeah.
last portion of a line. Sweet. Next track is titled No Me La Explota, which does that mean like don't
Like
provoke me?
it's more like
Or
it doesn't provoke me, or it
okay,
doesn't like doesn't
it
mess with me.
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
bother me.
Okay. Cool, cool. No Me La Explota.
Hello.
I was gonna say
Eddie.
old,
Ey.
¿Qué es lo que hay, cabrón?
Yeah.
Diego, cabrón, ¿qué
Pero
hace,
viste-
papi?
Epa,
Cacho, sí, lo que quieren es guerra.
pues está bien, pues vamos a hacerlo, tú sabes.
Vamos a destrozarlos de nuevo, que se joda.
No, de nuevo, asesinarlos de nuevo.
Dale.
Está bien, pues chequeamos.
He's like, they want
Nice.
war, and he's like, all right, well, that's what we'll give them.
He's like, all right, kill him then.
Un par de puercos quieren lucrarse con lo mío, pero no sirven, por eso es que su mundo es frío. Se buscaron que yo los azote y aunque yo no tengo Glock, los pongo a brincar como Tony Hawk. Y a mis 5 cojones y de mí
Como
lo que
Tony
tú
Hawk.
quieras. No me quite el sueño ni tú ni tu ronquera. La victoria no anticipen, pues se dieron con la pareja más grande desde Michael Jordan y Scottie Pippen.
Oye, a mí lo tuyo no me le explota.
No me choca ni me provoca,
En el juego lírico se han ido en coca.
por estar pendiente a macho como la loca.
No me echó falta en la tiradera pa' pegarme. Pero si tiraron, ahora tienen que escucharme. Bajo tu veteranía, yo la aplasto en mi peor día. Sin anomalía, porfía, si no confía. Trato a cada cual con el defecto que tenga. Enseña, tus líricas pa' mí son leña. Aquí seguimos en peligro de extinción.
Porque cantantes como nosotros
I
no
love
hay
this
en la
like
El que
sit
zona.
se
down
mete
between
con
the
el
two
ledio, con
Yeah.
Calderón.
Termina haciéndose el cambio de sexo como Verón, por estar pendiente a macho como la loca.
They have a lot of those like kind of like Star Trekky type noises, like
Uh-huh.
ooh, in the background.
Yeah.
This is very like early 2000s.
Yeah, very. Nice. Yeah, I like that beat was really cool. And that was Eddie D. That was the other guy he was kind of going back and forth with.
Yeah, so Eddie D signed Tego Calderon to his label.
Oh, okay.
So Eddie D
That
is
makes
kind of
sense.
like the mentor kind of guy, and then Tego
Gotcha.
Calderon is on his label.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I like the beat. Some of the lyrics seem a little bit problematic.
Yeah, that was
Like towards the end there, he's like, he was like, no iba a guerrear con esas gordas. He's like, I'm not gonna fight those fat chicks.
yeah.
Like, okay.
It's got some misogyny in there. They're saying like, oh, you guys are basically women, or
Yeah.
like using these problematic insults.
Yeah.
So that's always tough to hear, like a diss track from like the 90s or early 2000s, and you're like, yeah, hearing this
Yeah.
back, this is not great.
Yeah. I mean, if this diss track was towards me, I'd be like, okay, you won, you got me.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's basically what it is. It's
Yeah.
there was this beef between, so it's Tego Calderon and Eddie D, who are both on the same label, and then there's this duo, this rap duo called Lito y Polaco, and they were kind of
Okay.
like firing shots at each other, and so this is like
Gotcha.
part of that kind of like beef that they had.
Okay.
And
Makes
so you know,
sense.
there's tons of lyrics of like, your lyrical game has like gone to shit. Se
Yeah.
han ido en coca, or like the whole, just like the whole chorus. A mí lo tuyo no me la explota, no me choca ni me provoca. So like
Mhm.
like what you do like just doesn't bother me. Yeah, most of the lyrics are just kind of different disses.
Tu
Uh,
flow
your-
más viejo que un hippie.
Yeah,
your flow's older than a hippie.
Yeah.
That's funny. Cool. Yeah, I think I'll give that one probably like a 7.5 out of 10. They just went in on these dudes. So
Yeah. Nice.
okay. Next up, we have the second interlude.
No le den el suelo, déjalo parar. No le den el suelo, déjalo parar.
So the one thing I'll say about this interlude is, so that phrase they keep repeating, no le den el suelo, déjalo parar, basically
Mhm.
means like, don't give it to him while he's on the ground, like let him stand up. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like following that diss track. It's like, okay, he's down, like let him get up and then we'll continue beating him up.
Like, take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Cool. Next track is titled Wasa Wasa, which remind me. You had mentioned it earlier. What does that mean again?
That's
it's
like cap or like fake.
Gotcha. Cool.
Tú eres guasa, 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 guasa. Andan friolento, mi lírica los cogía. Tú eres guasa, 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 guasa. Es que tú no estás bregando con un trangalanga. Tú eres guasa, guasa. Quieren tirarle a alguien, tírenme a mí. Yo soy el enemigo, yo no pido changuiri salsa. Les voy a dar con mi comparsa. Ustedes visten de demo, pero Calde es el que los calza. Tú no me acusas nadie si no tiran, me oyen y se arremillan. Andan friolentos, mis líricas los cogían. Pa' que balan locas como San Bigote. Soplapote es el dueño del masacote. Yo sí soy killer, más monstruo que los de thriller. Los mato de lejito como Reggie Miller. Tú eres guasa, 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 guasa. Tú eres guasa, guasa, envuelve masa. A mí no me amenacen, lo que vaya a hacer lo hace. Después no venga tratando de hacer las paces. Tú no eres calle, tú sabes, deje el aguaje. No me hagas entrar en detalle. Hey, es que yo sé que él le gusta como yo le meto. Que tú no estás pegando con un trangalanga. Historietas que no pegan ni con Crazy Glue. Yo no tengo yate ni BMW, pero yo canto mucho más caro. Y tú pasas de moda como los pangos. Hablando claro, esto es pa' todos los pangos. Cada abusador le llega su calderona. Mato de lejito como Reggie Miller. Es pa' que valen loca como San Bigote. Soplapote es el dueño del masacote. Ahora aguanta. El que me la hace me la paga, me la paga. Oye, aguanta, aguanta. Si quieren tirarle a alguien, tírenme a mí, tírenme a mí, tírenme a mí. Aguanta, tírenme a mí, tírenme a mí. A cada abusador le llega su calderona.
Nice. So kind of a continuation of that diss track from before. So I imagine they're talking to the same people here.
Yeah, it's just more disses of Lito y Polaco. Just kind of diss lines like you dress with Demo, which is just like a clothing brand.
Okay.
Pero Calde es el que los calza, but like I'm the one who's getting you dressed.
I like the chorus too. Those lines, like you said, kind of like referencing back to several things from kind of that era. He's like, oye, yo sí soy killer, más monstruo que los de Thriller.
Yeah.
Like, kind of the Thriller reference again.
Yeah.
And then los mato de lejito como Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
Dude, go look up Reggie Miller's highlight tape.
Yeah.
That man was an animal.
That's like the equivalent of being like, I'll snipe you like Steph Curry or whatever.
Like Steph Curry, yeah, exactly.
When he says like, pa que balas locas como San Bigote.
Who is that? Is that
So San Bigote is the Spanish name for Yosemite Sam from Looney Tunes. And so he's talking about like crazy bullets like San Bigote, just kind of like going everywhere or whatever.
Pew, 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 pew.
So again, like Looney Tunes references. Looney Tunes was one of the producers on this.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think I liked this one more than the first diss track.
I agree.
I think I'll give this one like 7.5, 8 out of 10. I think somewhere around there.
Nice.
Okay, next track is titled Dominicana.
Oye, Tego Calde con Sandunga, pero borinqueña. Hey.
Oye, mi negrita linda tiene chiquititos los ojitos. Si me tiro una guiñada, se va conmigo pa' Puerto Rico. Ay, que me levante hoy con paz en el alma. El día está pa' bellaquearla bajo una palma con calma. Tropical como la zamba, brasileña y sin desespero. Con calmita, mami, sin verte. Solo buenas vibraciones, tú coges las posiciones. Yo me cargo si tuvieran complicaciones. Que tú te llamas, te vas por un par de semanas. Viajamos mañana hacia República Dominicana. Mi negrita linda tiene chiquititos los ojitos. Oye, si me tiro una guiñada,
I like this little
se va conmigo pa' Puerto Rico. Ay,
sounds like something that would go down so well. Just like tons of people singing it in a bar. Like, totally.
Oye, si yo tuviera un palacio, allí tú serías la reina. Porque tú me tienes loco, mija, con esos ojitos lindos. Este es la Abayarde, el negro Calde. Con DJ Nelson, yo creí que ellos sabían de mí. Me pa' que goce, me pa' vacilar. Me pa' que goce, me pa' vacilar.
Just keep it going.
Yeah. Gotta tell us to take it.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know. Talking about this girl with black eyes. Who's like I'll take you to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, this one's pretty much just a seduction song.
Yeah.
The do that like piano, that's a sample from this like Puerto Rican salsa orchestra called El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So that's just kind of where that comes from. But I love just like the like weaving in of like different genres of music and
Yeah, that is cool.
it.
I like it. I think I'll probably give this song, I think I'll give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't my favorite.
Lyrics
but-
are a little boring.
Yeah. Okay. Next track is titled Cambumbo, which from I think it was like the very first song after the intro. It's kind of like the man. Okay. Cambumbo.
Llegó el cambumbo. El cambumbo a las balas sin rumbo. Para los que se pican cada vez que zumbo. El que sirve, sirve. El que vale, vale. Y el que no, no vale. Tú sabes. Tego Calderon. Hey, las ganas tuyas cantar más que yo. Con mi producción, loco, te humillo. A la puerta del estudio, ponle pestillo. No me hace falta, si tú quieres, juégate la carta. Compra una pistola, hazte un par de faltas y ya te muestro. Vocifera, pero vera. La calle sabe que eres un pera. Meto en el oso, no endoso. Asociados somos poderosos. Corte mafioso, antecedentes dudosos. Madura, ni en esta vida, ni en la futura me dura. Si nos vamos de a verdura, hay que ser bruto o estar fumando bazuco. ¿Acaso tú no oyes?
I love this beat.
Se creen que
Yeah.
saben. Puede que los pelos caguen, callejón o musical.
The like
conmigo no
guitars in the background.
Yeah,
I tried to figure out if it's a sample, but I can't figure out from where it comes from.
It feels a little like West Coast. Like West Coast hip hop.
Ojo de Puerto Rico, el Abayarde, el Tego Calderon.
Whoops. I paused a little bit early, but that's
That's
okay.
all right.
Dope. Yeah, I can see like some of the US hip hop influence coming in.
Yeah.
On this one especially. So he's I mean kind of continuing a lot of the similar like themes.
It's a little less specific, more just kind of generally talking about people who are like fake. So yeah, lots of just kind of like calling people out on their bullshit.
Yeah, he keeps that same theme from the very first song of like where the gangsta's at now that I'm here. He's got the line in this song. He's like, si tú quieres jugarte la carta, compra una pistola, házate un par de marcas. He's like, if you want to play the card, you know, get a gun and shoot your shot, like do something. But he's like, but you won't.
Yeah, la calle sabe que eres una pera. Like the street knows that you're not real.
Yeah, I think I'll give that one probably like a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. I really did. I like the beat and that kind of West Coast influence. I thought that was really cool. So
Nice.
okay, next track is titled Salte del Medio, which is like get out of my way, get out the way. So
Oye, te Tego Calde otra vez, eco ahí.
Is this like
bueno y ando sin miedo. Ey, se llenó el salón todo
what style is this, like
I think it's like mambo music. I think so, like from Cuba. I think that's where it's mambo from.
Tumba moderno que no esté en tu cuaderno. Refresca en verano,
Cuban.
caliente en invierno. Alegría, para el trajín de todos los días. Salte del medio que voy pasando, demostrando cómo es el mambo. Ampliamente, distinto y diferente.
¿Cómo es el mambo?
Como le gusta a mi gente. Oye, salte del medio que voy pasando, demostrando cómo es el mambo. El mundo entero este boricueo. Guapeo, fraseo, calchanchaneo. Te dije que mi libreta está repleta de letras hasta las tetas, más especiales que topeca. Sigo gozando haciendo el aguaje, no hay coraje, salí del clandestinaje. Yo combino lo que opino con lo que domino y lo decoro con mi flow latino. Yo sé que traigo un swing como Clemente, potente, el caballote aunque esté ausente. Qué Pangue.
Okay, sweet. That was really cool. Yeah, like some of the songs previously had like a very clear like African and Caribbean sound to them. And then some like Cambumbo kind of had that like more US hip hop sound. And then this one had a very clear Latin sound.
Yeah.
So I like the kind of being able to see all the different things coming to play. Kind of goes back to that like that what did he like the tri-cultural or tri-racial
the trilogía racial trilogy, racial trilogy.
So it's kind of cool to like see that all come into play. So I really like the song. I thought it was really dope. What was that called? The mambo, el mambo kind of sound that he brought on this one.
Yeah. And then the lyrics were basically, I mean, the Salte del Medio is like get out of the way. So it's
get
kind
out of
of
my
like,
way.
I'm here, I'm doing my thing, get out of my way. So a little bit of that just kind of like braggadocious energy.
Yeah, he's like that idea of like I'm coming or I'm here. One of the lines, he's like, La espera valió la pena. He's like, the wait was worth it. Yeah, I really like that one. I think I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Cool. Yeah, really just groovy with that mambo music in the background.
Yeah. Okay. Next track is titled Tus Ojos, Your Eyes. And it has a feature from Maestro. So get me excited.
It's like building up the
oh yeah
it kind of goes back to that G-Funk vibe a little bit.
Totally. A little harmony. Totally 2000s.
Yeah.
I love it. Singing is like, it's so good. It's like a little out of his range, but he's ascending it. He's going for it.
I like when that harmony comes in.
Me dejan guardar mi corte en su bolsa, a de la que ni le importa mami. Cuando te veo lo que siento es un cosquilleo, como si estuviera en pleno calceteo. Tus ojos son como el cristal, tu cuerpo me hace
This gives me the vibe of like Justin Timberlake singing super cheesy intro, and then Jay-Z coming in with like a dope rapper.
Yeah. This is basically Suit and Tie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that was actually so accurate. That's exactly what this is. It's like a cheesy, like, singer singing a love song. And like the Tego's verse is still like a love song, but
yeah,
it's just like totally different vibe.
Yeah. So 2000s. Dope. Yeah. I guess the difference would be Justin Timberlake objectively is a much better singer than Maestro's. But
yeah,
still, it's still like it's a really fun song. I'll say objectively, it's not the best song.
Yeah,
it's like one verse, super cheesy chorus, but like it's so fun to listen to. Like,
yeah,
I enjoyed it way more than I should. I'll admit
it. I feel like it's a guilty
it.
pleasure.
It's talking about this woman, you know, he's talking about her eyes are like crystals. And then he's like, yeah, basically going through this story of meeting this woman. They like, oh, you said it was 10 in the morning. Were they clubbing till 10 in the morning? Damn, they were going hard
partying
all night.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This one I like.
Couldn't be
I
me.
like how this one is like, it's like a very vivid like storytelling type
Yeah.
of love song.
Mhm.
So you can kind of like see the story playing out.
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah.
song. I think I'll give it, and I don't know what to rate it because I'm like, I don't know. I'll give it 8 out of 10, which is probably too high, but it's fun to listen
it.
to. And
Yeah.
ultimately, like,
That's what that, yeah.
I guess that's kind of what matters when it comes to music. Like
True.
if it's fun to listen to, then why not?
Yeah.
Sweet. The next track is titled Los Difuntos, not Disfuntos, Difuntos. What does that mean? Is that like Los Difuntos?
It's like
Is that like the dead
yeah,
people?
like
Okay.
the deceased.
Okay. Cool. All right. Los Difuntos.
Yo tuve una visión, no fue mala, como una voz que me hablaba, una sensación sagrada, me decía que de mis socios no me fiara, no hay familia, no hay amigos, no hay nada, dijo que mucha de la gente que más aprecio, noten su mira el desprecio y no hay derecho, me dijo, son cosas del camino mi hijo, y el que se mete contigo, se mete conmigo, manténla cruda, directo al punto, y escríbete algo tego en honor a los difuntos, que no pueden estar juntos, momentos de funeral, hubo llanto verdadero, con la excepción de cobardes que allí fueron y fingieron, la mayoría de su gente, justicia exigía mientras su madre lloraba y el nazareno pedía, momento funeral, nunca falta un charlatán que quiere reír en vez de llorar, tampoco puede faltar el que juraba vengar y no tiene metal, ni buloba para jalar, se sabe que el dinero es motivo esencial, no solo en Puerto Rico, es problema mundial, el pobre hace lo imposible por unos pesos ganarse, todo lo que uno desea es calma y quietud, cuando es un ser querido quien va dentro del ataúd, nadie nunca se apiada del dolor ajeno, una manta por encima y te dejan en el suelo, como en tu funeral, nunca falta un charlatán que quiere reír en vez de llorar, tampoco puede faltar el que jura va a vengar y no tiene metal, ni buloba para jalar. Esta canción va dedicada a todos esos seres que me cuidan y me quieren, de parte de la Abayarde, Tego Calderon.
Okay. So he's talking about like people who have passed, and he's like carrying them with him.
He starts out with like yo tuve una visión, like I had a vision.
Yeah.
No fue mala, it wasn't like a bad one. Como una voz que me hablaba, una sensación sagrada, like a voice that spoke to me, like a sacred feeling.
Yeah.
So then he kind of talks about how like he feels like the people, someone who has died was like speaking to him. He was basically telling me like, I can't trust anyone. Me decía que de mi socio no me fiara. No hay familia, no hay amigos, no hay nada. Which is like, damn, there is no family, there are no friends, there's nothing. Like you can't trust anyone is basically what he was saying. Escríbete algo, Tego, en honor a los difuntos. Like write something in our honor of the ones who have deceased. And so then the rest of the song is kind of like him basically saying, even though they have left, like I have them with me. And that's the song, like that's him responding to that and like writing the song about the deceased people in their honor or whatever. En honor a los hermanos que no pueden estar juntos, in honor of the brothers that can't be with us.
The chorus is interesting too. He's talking about like these funerals, and he says, en todo funeral nunca falta un charlatán que quiere reír en vez de llorar. So he's like, in every funeral, there's somebody there that instead of crying wants to laugh, or like what that person told him, like, don't trust anybody. Like you don't have friends, you don't have, people that you can put your trust in. And then also there's another line where he's like, la vida es corta, hay que aprovecharla cuando se va, no hay como regresarla. He's like, yeah, just like life is short.
You got to take advantage of it while it's here.
But that's an interesting chorus, that at every funeral there's somebody that in place of crying wants to laugh. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Then in the second verse, he starts out and he says, se sabe que el dinero es motivo esencial, no solo en Puerto Rico es problema mundial. So it is known that money is an essential motive, not just in Puerto Rico. This is a like worldwide problem.
Yeah.
And el pobre hace lo imposible para unos pesos ganarse. Like the poor people will do whatever's impossible just to like earn some pesos.
Yeah.
And so then like this to me is kind of like telling the other side of the story of like friends that have died. He's basically saying like he understands that there's these like deeper social issues that contribute to like the violence that goes on with criminality, and that at its root it's poor people that like will do whatever they have to get money. He's saying these things like, si en la vida quieres algo, consíguelo por ti mismo. If you want something in your life, go get it for yourself.
Go get it. Yeah, it's just you.
But he kind of like flips it. Then he says, todo lo que uno desea es calma y quietud cuando es un ser querido quien va dentro del ataúd. So all anybody wants is calm and like peace and quiet. Yeah. When it's someone that you loved that is now in the coffin. And he's kind of like telling both sides of the story, saying like he gets these like motivations and people need money, and that's like the cause of a lot of what happens. But like also let's just step back and think about like if it's your loved one that's in there, like all you want is just for things to quiet down.
Yeah, I really like that song. The beginning was really interesting, the way that he set it up. This vision of this family member telling him these things, asking him to write something in honor of those who have passed. I think that's really cool. I think I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Really cool song. And also I love the like Tupac flow that he has. Next track is titled Lleva y Trae.
Te la dedico a los Lleva y Trae, a los pelagüiras.
Esta borracía con tus mentiras, tus supuestos amigos que ninguno las tira. De frente te lo maman, de espalda te apuñalan. La otra noche me llaman y me hablan de una fulana.
Mira, esa mía, mañana será otro día. Sabía que si me dormía me moría. Le pregunté que a quién le creía. Yo jamás pensé lo que respondería.
That's really cool, whatever that little thing is. Were they like a couple, it sounds like? And they're kind of like arguing back and forth.
Yeah, so basically like it starts off and she basically says like, hey, it's like 7 a.m, where have you been?
Yeah.
And like throughout it's this dialogue between him and her where she's saying like, I heard that you have been with other people or whatever, like your homies told me this. And he's like, no, that's not true, whatever. So it's this kind of like argument kind of. I think that lleva y trae, that expression, I think refers to like basically people who are chismosos, like who like gossip a lot. And so in this song, it would have been his friends. I'm not exactly sure if it was like true or if they just were like making shit up or whatever. After the previous song where it's talking about like, you can't trust anyone, like it could be implied that it's like his friends were trying to make trouble for him or whatever. They weren't true friends. And so they were like making something up.
I think I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. That's good.
It's kind of like a little bit more humorous, kind of like Mrs. Officer that we were talking about.
Yeah, kind of like Mrs. Officer. Or also Lil Wayne and Kendrick's Mona Lisa. But that song is like
top tier.
Ahead. Yeah, Mona Lisa is like one of the that's a 10 out of 10 song.
Yeah,
but kind of similar vibe. Next track is titled Bonsai. Little funky vibes.
Got a little bit more of like a reggae type of beat.
Yeah.
Hey, what you gonna say? Si la pista es buena, refuego, mame. Pa' que bling bling, si no quieren el swing, you know what I mean. Óyeme, relájate.
That's dope. It's like super chill flow.
Yeah.
I need Snoop Dogg on this chorus, man.
Yeah.
This is his song.
You know what I mean?
I'm having so much fun imagining how Snoop Dogg would sound on this.
You'd kill this. We need to make some calls.
Yeah.
And get Snoop.
I'll dial up Snoop.
First of all, get him some Spanish lessons.
So yeah, so this is basically an ode to weed.
Yeah,
which
just,
is another reason why Snoop Dogg would be amazing on it.
Just listen, relax, sit down, just listen,
Light
and just
up.
vibe. Yeah, totally. Like, just imagine any Snoop Dogg song about smoking weed.
Yeah, this is the Puerto Rican Snoop Dogg.
I liked it. It was cool. Super chill. I'll probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Next track is titled Gracias, otherwise known as Gracias.
Yeah, that's the No Sabo Kid coming out right now.
No Sabo Kid.
Gracias.
That man.
Ey, ¿dónde estaban cuando más falta me hacían? Ni siquiera una llamada, ni siquiera me escribían. Se dan golpes de pecho por el parentesco, pero manda más papás y más merezco. Yo sabía que esto venía, por eso insistía. Aunque sufría, mañana será mi día, me decía. Gracias a los barrios y los caseríos por apoyar lo que yo hago, por ser de los míos. Gracias al público en general que me apoya. Gracias, declaro, gracias, puñeta, gracias. Gracias a todos los que me emplearon, que me vieron jodido y me dieron la mano, mi hermano. Yo he hecho todo tipo de trabajo.
Yeah, totally.
Y ahora gracias a ustedes no doy un tajo. Yo llevo 10 años tratando, todo el mundo pichando. Gracias, Melo Rivera. Gracias, Rebeca, Ebony y Kenya.
I love that violin in the background.
Las blancas y las trigueñas. Gracias, gobierno, por robarnos tanto y cada 4 años vestirse santo. Gracias a los tribunales por tener 2 varas y hacer de la justicia una cosa cara. Dando caras contra el centro para que sepa que yo sí que le meto. Afuerte, oye, nos fuimos al garete. Yo creí que tú sabías ya de este negro loco. Yo creí que tú sabías de mí. Saludando a mi gente de allá abajo de Loiza, para que sepan.
Okay, so throughout like the entire song, he's saying like thank you to all of these people. Then I was like, wait, is he being sarcastic this whole time? And then by the end, I was like, oh, okay. I think he's being sarcastic. He's listing off like all these people, like thanks to everyone who supported me, and then he starts saying like thanks to the government and all these people, and I'm like, oh, okay. He's not being for real. He's like,
I think
putting it in their face.
I think for some of it, like because sometimes he says like this is like thank you to the neighborhoods, like gracias a mi barrio. Like I think in some cases it's probably real, and in other cases it's very like backhanded. The very first thing he says is ¿Dónde estaban cuando más falta me hacían? Like, where were you when people didn't support me or whatever? Like, ni siquiera una llamada, ni siquiera me escribían. Like, you didn't even give me a call or like write me. Tengo una familia inmensa ahora. Like, now I have a big family. Está conmigo a todas horas. They're always with me. Que habla de frente las verdades y las mentiras. Que si estoy pegado me apoyan. Y si no sirvo me tiran. So he's saying basically like, I now have a big family. Everyone loves me. But once I stop giving them what they want, they'll throw me away immediately. So he's kind of like has this awareness of like he is thankful for like the support, but also he's like, but where were you when I needed you and when people weren't supporting me? You're not really my supporters. You just kind of like me right now while I'm hot.
Yeah, and also he throws in some of that, like some of the social problems. He's like, gracias por robarnos tanto y cada 4 años vestirte de santo. He's like, thank you, government, for robbing us so much. And every 4 years, you make yourself seem like you're like you're for the people. Yeah, like you're a saint. Gracias a los tribunales por tener 2 para y hacer de la justicia una cosa.
Una cosa cara.
Oh yeah, una cosa.
Like making justice expensive or whatever.
Yeah, that was a good song. It got me thinking. Last song is titled Plante Bandera. Some salsa.
Yep.
Yo sé que no te gustó que yo plantara bandera. Pues lo que dice mi voz.
Oh, this is like straight salsa.
Yeah. This is a sample straight from a salsa orchestra.
Okay.
Tommy Olivencia. So.
Estoy sonando donde quieren, ligas mayores, frustrado en la coliseba, échate pa' allá, Leo, envidioso polillero, la licencia mía es heavy como los troqueros, al pecho, pecho, que te salga por el techo. Las güey, yo también tengo derecho.
Yo nací con mi bim bim y tengo
I love how he was
mi
just
bom
straight up
bom.
rapping
yeah.
over salsa music.
I know. I was gonna say. I was expecting a switch up, but he just went for it.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Hey, ya tú viste, puse todo sobre la mesa. Lo que yo traigo no se vende en la marqueta. Pues tengo una rumba distinta a la mía. De falsedad, vanidad, envidia, hipocresía. No te vuelvas loco ni te vaya a dar un pioco. Cuando tú oigas todo este saoco, muchos trataron, pero toditos se enfangaron porque tiraron el songo y no lo mangaron. Nadie me va a quitar lo que Dios me dio. Me pajo.
Dang. Dude,
Such a
what
cool way to end off.
What a way to end his album. Yeah, totally was not expecting just a full-on salsa song to be the last song. And yeah, like you said, when he came in, he just was rapping straight over the salsa beat. It was so dope. To be honest, I'm not sure if I caught like everything he was saying, but it was kind of like, he's like, I know that you don't like that I'm planting my flag, that I'm here, that I'm making a statement, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, I mean, like both the chorus that was singing says similar things.
Yeah.
So it was a good choice of like what music to put in behind there. Tú te creías que eras dueño de todo. You thought you were like the boss of everything. Y me decías que el mundo anda a tu modo. You told me that the world like revolves around you.
Yeah.
Y de repente llegué sin echármelas de fiera, and like all of a sudden I came and I like didn't I'm not exactly sure echármelas de fiera, but like I like didn't conform or whatever, and now I know that you didn't like that I planted my flag, but here I am.
Yeah, and then he's like, y te resultó irreverse porque yo planta bandera con humildad, con mi sencillez, con facilidad. He's like, but it flipped
it
on
right
me.
around.
How the turntables. He's like,
Yeah.
I did it, and I did it easily, basically. He's like,
Yeah.
I think I'll give it, man, I don't know. I think I'll give it like an 8.5. Is I thought a really good way to end off the album. So
Cool. Yeah. So what were your overall thoughts on the album?
I can definitely see like why this would be such an influential reggaeton album. I really love the like blend of all these different cultures that from the very first song. Honestly, that I thought the very first song, not only was it like an amazing song, it also did a really good job of introducing a lot of the things that were talked about throughout the rest of the album. So like the cultural things that he addressed, and then also like the social aspect of that, which was like very tied together, and also being very proud of his heritage and his blackness specifically, and then also like the aspect of like love and partying, clubbing. Loved the Caribbean feel to it, the Afro beats, the hip hop influence. I thought that was all super dope. I thought his flow is super cool. So I think I'll probably give the album overall, I think I'll give it like, damn. I always get stuck. I'm like, but here's my problem. My problem is I just love music. So I'm like, it's really hard for me to be like
Critical.
very critical of music.
I'm the same way.
So I'm like, I want to say it's like a 8.5 out of 10, which is what I give like everything basically.
Well, I'm not gonna bring you something that is bad. So
yeah.
So we don't have to feel too bad about giving things high scores, but no, I definitely feel what you're saying.
Most songs out there or most albums like have really good elements to them, even if they're not executed perfectly. But in this case, I do think this was executed really well. The music itself was really cool. It was a awesome variety of like a lot of different styles combined. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it 8.5. I think is what I'm gonna go with.
Nice. I think the biggest weakness of the album is that it's a long album, 2 or 3 songs all basically are like saying the same things.
Kind of the same. Yeah.
When you have songs that basically repeat the same ideas, just kind of like choose the best one out of those.
Like the diss tracks.
Yeah.
Were like pretty similar.
Any that come right off the bat that you're like, those are kind of skips for me.
No Me La Explota was not my favorite one. Dominicana wasn't my favorite.
I agree. That's one where I think
those are 2 that are probably skips for me.
Yeah. Dominicana was one where I was like, we could have just stuck with Tus Ojos and left Dominicana off. Like they're both these kind of like love songs. Tus Ojos I thought was like, it was more catchy. It was a little more cheesy, but it was also like more descriptive.
It's also just like just executed better.
Yeah.
Like Dominicana just wasn't very interesting. So real quick, the ones that for sure are making it to the playlist. First of all, Abayarde. Honestly, I think I gave it a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna just give it a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
That's such a good song.
It's so good. Such a good way to start.
There's really nothing bad about it. So Poquito I thought was really good. Tus Ojos, that was the one that was like kind of cheesy, but like honestly, it's a banger. And then Los Difuntos I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah.
More of them are probably going to make it to the playlist, but those were some of my favorites this first listen through. Okay, sweet. Well, next week, I'm really excited. I'm going to bring you an album that is a classic R&B album. One of my favorites, one of the best of all time.
All right. I'm excited. Thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed the review of El Abayarde by Tego Calderon. If you liked the episode, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, formerly known as X, at the Off Track Podcast. And if you enjoy the show, please feel free to share it with any friends or music lovers that you know. We would really appreciate it.